Good morning. How are ya? Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yeah, fine.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, well, welcome. Welcome back, Sue. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm glad you're feeling great. Had a nice rest. You're ready to get stretchy bendy on this Thursday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, let's go. There's Anne. Take your feet nice and wide, maybe the width of the mat or even wider. Sweep the arms up and just make a nice Y. Now, hip hinge, so your butt moves back. And this is also a reminder for stability to really pull in the belly. Just hold this. Now come back up, so let the hips come forward and hip hinge again. And let them come forward, and one last time. Pull them back. Now let's bring the arms down so they're parallel to the floor. And we're going to pull the butt back even more until you really feel a nice little tug right behind your legs. It should feel good. Now let's bring our hands to heart. Keep your shoulders nice and broad. So you want to be pulling them apart. And just do a little turn to the left. Come back center, keep the tummy pulling in, and a little turn to the right. And you're actually keeping your hips very quiet. It's only the shoulders here that are rotating. So you're just using your obliques a little bit, feeling it in your side body. Just do this last one. Now pull those arms back out. Now this time I'm going to have you bend the legs. So you're coming into a little squat. And then come back up with nice and long legs. Butt pushes back as you start your descent. Keep the weight in the back of the feet. So we're just warming up the front of the legs here. Now, to make this a little more challenging, once you come down, I want you to elevate your arms. So you feel the back of the shoulders really doing a lot of work. Then when you come up, let the arms release. And squat and lift. And then release, squat and lift. And we're just going to do one more. Nice. Now bring those hands back to heart. Squat nice and low if you can. And then just fold and let your head go where it wants to. And if you're feeling comfortable doing this, go for it. Straighten the legs. But if you're not quite ready to do that, that's fine too. Just chill out here and breathe. Try to close your eyes whenever you're inverted like this and just kind of get lost. Now let's take one hand at a time above the knees. You're going to slowly get yourself back up to standing, any which way that feels good. Big deep breath. And let's do that again, all the way back down. Nice slow swan dive. Let the head go. Kind of unweight your upper body here as best you can. Now, one hand at a time back above those knees. Come all the way back up to standing, nice and slow. Now, you're going to bring your feet in, hip width apart. Make sure your toes are in the same line. You want to look good, right? Okay, all the weight's coming into this left leg. Clasp your fingers and lift your right knee up. Now, if you need to hold onto a wall or a chair, by all means. But this is also an opportunity to loosen up your ankles. So I'm going to have you circle your foot and then change the direction and point and flex. I love doing this because it challenges your balance. Now, another option is to just tuck your foot inside your leg and just hold the balance. Let's switch feet. This is all good stuff for us. That's why we do it. Circle the foot. Try not to sink into this hip either. You want to be lifting and trying to get taller. Change your direction. And then point and flex. Nice, let it go. Make a fist, pull your elbows back, as far as you can get them. Pull in the stomach. Now sweep them forward. Let the forearms connect, stretching the back of the shoulders. Sweep back and forward. Like you're serving up a platter. Take it back and forward and again. Now, hold it back here as far as you can get those elbows. Halfway fold with your stomach actively pulling in. Really, really important to do that. It's an opportunity to work your six-pack muscles. Why would we not want to do that? We just need to be reminded every now and then. Okay, this last one. Fold down, let the arms go. Just let them feel suspended. So just let them hang. Your torso should be parallel to the floor. And then come back up. And again, hinge, let the arms hang. You can let the shoulders come forward, kind of like a hunchback. It's a little bit of a stretch. Come back up. And one last time, come on back down. Now this time we're going to put our hands down on the floor, walk it out to the plank. So your feet come forward, step back. I think someone needs to mute. Now pull the tummy up and in towards the spine as you meet me in down dog. Driving the heels to the floor. Just relax and breathe. Close your eyes, get lost in your breath. Don't worry about anything that's on your to-do list. This is an opportunity for you to make a nice mind-body connection. Now let's start to pedal our feet. So you stretch out your calves. You've been walking or biking, I'm sure they're tight. You want to hold one side down, just to hang out there, might be a good idea. Or the other side, or both, whatever feels good. This is your time today to make the body feel healthy and really loose. Okay, we're going to pull forward to that plank. Make sure you're not dropping your face. Let's put our knees down on the floor. We've got 5 big cat-cows here. So your wrists are under the shoulders. You're going to round your back, look at your knees. Now sink into the shoulders, take your gaze forward. Still do not release the tummy. And just do that 4 more times. So try to find your breath today. So begin a move with an inhalation and finish it with an exhalation. The more you breathe, the more oxygen your body gets, the more you get that nice zen, relaxed feeling after class. Okay, now meet me in a neutral spine and let your tucked under with your toes come onto the tops of your feet. I want you to slide your knees open and pull the hips back so you're sitting on your heels. Now, if you want to grab a towel, you're going to walk the arms out and let the forehead come to the floor. So your forearms are not touching the floor. Nice, big, deep breaths right into that lower back. Really try to expand the rib cage each time you inhale. Now, if you can take those hands and walk them out a little further, go for it. If the armpits can get a little closer to the floor, that could be a good thing too. Okay, we're going to come back up, walk your hands in a little bit. You're going to bring your knees in. Now we're going to tuck the toes under. You're going to take your hips back, just so they're hovering over the heels, and walk your hands out. Now, the forehead is not going to be on the floor. Your ears are just inside the arms. You're going to take the right palm, open it to the ceiling, and lift the hand a couple of inches off the floor and reach the arm nice and long. Keep the tummy pulling up and into the spine. Now you're going to take that palm back to the floor and switch sides. Open, lift, and reach. And let's repeat it again on the other side. You might find you're a little tighter in one shoulder than the other, and that's why we do this. Keep alternating side to side. Try to really make sure that you're reaching the arms straight if you can. The hand doesn't need to be that high off the floor, but I would like the shoulder to stay retracted with the arm long. Let's do a few more, only because these are so good for us. And if it doesn't feel quite right, try repositioning where your hands are, like making more space between them. So you're doing more of a Y. Okay, we're going to come back up onto all fours. Meet me back in your high plank. So you're going to step your feet back. Just hold the high plank for a few breaths. Now take your down dog. And as soon as you get into your down dog, start to walk your feet forward with baby steps up towards the hands. And just hang out in your forward fold. This time we're going to cross the arms and just sort of suspend them. Let them get closer to the floor as you exhale each of these breaths that you're going to be taking. Really try to expand through the rib cage, taking as much air each time as you can. And if you're holding your head up for any crazy reason, let it go. Just relax, close your eyes, get lost. Okay, palms to the floor. You're going to step back into your plank. You're going to step your knees in so they're under the hips and you find yourself in bear. One of Susan's favorite exercises. Now put your knees down. You're going to slide the hands forward and your hips are going back to hover over the heels. Now we're not doing what we just did. We're going to do a nice little QL stretch. So I'm going to have you take baby steps with both your arms off the mat, moving them to the right. Once they've gone as far as they need to go, walk them out of it, feeling a nice side body stretch on the left side. Please don't sit on your feet. We want your spine to be long. So as you breathe, you should get a nice release all the way down to the waistband of your pants on that left side. Okay, let's take baby steps with the hands back, and we're going to the other side. Please don't shift your hips. You want them to stay exactly where they were when you started the exercise. And baby steps with the hands coming back. You're going to come back up onto all fours. We're going to bring the spine nice and long, right? So you're not collapsing or sinking. Extend the right arm out with your palm facing the midline of the body and your left leg back. Now, if you can, I'd like that left leg nice and straight. And then do it again on the other side. Just waking up the back of the legs a little bit and your glutes. So nice, slow and steady, switching sides.
Don't forget your inhalation as you begin and your exhalation when you come back down. Now, when you extend the leg back behind you, if you can lift it a little higher with it straight, get a little edgy with the move. Like if we always play it safe, we're not growing. Keep the core nice and steady. There's no shifting of the hips. Let's just do one more. We're going to get off our knees, I promise. So here, meet me in bear. Just hold this for a sec. We might as well, right? Because it's so fun and good for us. Now, you're going to walk your hands back to your feet. You're at the end of your mat in a pulled pole. Relax the head. You're just looking through your knees. So this fold should feel a lot different than the first one we did. Probably getting your torso closer to your legs. Maybe the legs are a little straighter. Just chill out here and breathe a few more times. Kind of center the weight between the pad and heel of the foot. Okay, let's take our hands above our knees and help us get back up to standing. Nice and slow. Nice. Take your pinkies to the sides of your hips and pull your elbows into each other. Proud chest, lots of upper back activation. Now, from here, take your gaze, look right, come back center, and look left. Keep those elbows back and keep them squeezing into each other. And just move the head slowly. You decide how far you turn it. And come back neutral. Release the arms. So you're relaxing, but you're staying nice and broad through the shoulders. We're just going to take our chin and drop it down. Getting a nice little stretch through the upper back. Now come back neutral. Take your gaze and look at your right shoulder. Just a different stretch, different angle. Come back up and look at the left shoulder. And come back up. Hands to heart. I'm going to have you take a big step forward with your left foot. And if it's not in one smooth motion, once you get here, you can figure it out. Take your back leg further back or your front foot further forward. And I'm going to bend the front knee. So I've got it over the ankle. And I'm just going to bring my arms out. So I've got my shoulders over my hips. I'm getting a nice hip flexor stretch right here in the front. Really good in case you're sitting today. You can do this in the middle of your day. Get up and stretch it out. Now bring your hands back to heart. Bend forward and then push off so you're back to where we started. Take a big step forward with the other foot and then reach the arms up. Now, as we release the hip flexor in the front, it's important to engage the glute behind it. Tie the toes on the back foot, right? Now bring your hands down, pull forward into that knee. So really bend it and then push back up. Big deep breath. We're going to do a little side body stretch here with our arms in a Y. So take it left. And then come back up. And take it right. So I'm not shifting my hips right now. The first couple of these, I'm just going to keep them nice and quiet. And I'm just moving the shoulders and the arms. Now hold it here. And relax. I'm going to bring the right arm forward and the left one back. And then switch. Nice. And switch. And let's do that one more time. And bring your hands to heart. We're going to come forward with the left foot this time. Plant the toes on the back foot. Only this time I'm going to have you straighten your front leg. Just hold this, reach the arms up. Now, keeping the arms up, start a hip hinge with your front leg straight. And if it's more convenient to have your hands at your heart, bring them in. Try to come down at least till you feel the upper part of that left leg in like a PMF stretch situation. Now, slowly bring it back up. Hands to heart. Step forward this time. Step your other foot back. Straighten the front leg. Reach the arms up. Start your hip hinge. Your front leg is as straight as you can get it. And slowly come back up. Bring your hands to heart, step forward. Now this time I'm going to have you take your right foot, step it back, but you're going to keep the heel, whoops, don't do that. Keep the heel on the floor. So both feet are firmly planted. You've got pretty good distance between the 2 feet. And if you need to make it wider to feel more stable, do it. Hands to heart, both legs straight. Start the same hip hinge you just did. We're going to go a little deeper here. And if you can, release your hands down to your shin. Now, this is a great opportunity for you to take 4 or 5 big, huge breaths. Really fill up and feel the ribs expand. You can, the fingertips come to the floor. I'm still in spinal extension. I am not rounding my back yet. Do a few more breaths here. Now you're going to let the head go and the torso pull toward your front leg. So you're in spinal flexion. Breathe, enjoy. Stretching involves a lot of patience. But the benefit that you get out of it is enormous. So even when you're not in class and you can find a few minutes to stretch throughout your day, highly recommend. Inhale, extend flat back. Hands come back onto the shin, walk them back up. Step your back foot forward, and we're going to do the same other side. So here we go. Walk it down. Both feet planted, spine long. Fingertips can come down. Hold here with your spine in extension. Make sure you're not straining your neck. So you just want to position the head wherever it makes your neck feel good. Now, in a few more breaths, we're going to flex our upper spine and drop the face towards that leg. Big, deep breaths. Okay, inhale, extend flat back. I'm going to have you walk your hands and turn to face the left side of your room. Start to open up your feet nice and wide with the toes pointing straight out. Now, inhale, extend to a flat back and drive your booty backwards. No weight in the toes. You've got all of it in the heels. We call this windmill. So we're going to get a nice inner thigh stretch and a nice upper back shoulder effort coming on here. So we're going to start with the right arm extended out to the side, parallel to the floor. Your palm faces the earth. We want the arm to stay nice and long. And then we want to begin to elevate from that right shoulder. Lift it up without the hips moving forward. Try to drift them back. And then take that arm back down. And let's just switch sides. Left arm extends out, get it nice and long. Drift the hips back. Lift that left shoulder up towards the ceiling. And you can take your gaze and look at the hand, or you can just keep it and look down at the floor, whatever feels better for your neck. Now take that hand back down. Let's do it again. Just one more time on each side. So let's make it really great. Big effort here. Gonna go a little higher. Keep that tummy in. And switch. A little higher with that shoulder. Nice, take it down. Now you're going to fold your upper body. Let the top of the head just hover above the floor. Here's an opportunity where you might want to take your feet a little further apart. Maybe the forearms can get down on the floor. Maybe not. It's not necessary, but think about lifting the coccyx bone up to the ceiling. Adds a little oomph to this stretch. Your legs should be straight if they can get there. Now let's start to really expand the rib cage as we breathe. Okay, let's get our hands back on the floor. You're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. Maybe walk your feet in a little closer together. Drift the hips backwards. Take both of your hands over to that right foot and let your face look at that right knee. Just changing up the angle a little bit for this stretch. Just breathe, enjoy all the length that you're bringing back to these muscles that get crushed from sitting and driving and exercise. Okay, take it over to the other side. Look at your knee. And bring it back center. Let the top of the head just hover above the floor. Now inhale and extend to a flat back. This time I'm going to have you bring one hand at a time up to your waist. Your torso should be nice and long. The tummy should be pulling up and into the spine. Retract your shoulders. Keep them nice and broad. Now let's begin with the right hand. Reach it forward. Drift those hips a little further back if you can. Bring that arm back to your hip and switch sides. Left arm. And switch again. Keep those hips pushing back because you know they want to come forward. Switch. Now let this right arm come out too. So you got both your arms reaching nice and long. Stay here for a few more breaths. Bring your hands to your waist, let your torso come up so you're standing. We're going to walk our feet together and turn the face forward. Big deep breath. Reach for the ceiling. Now take your arms back by your side. Palms are going to face the floor. And just hip hinge down with your feet hip width apart. Just hold this. Coming in. Now sweep the arms forward and drift your hips backwards. Take the arms back by your side. Here's your reprieve. Bring them forward. This is the challenge. And take them back. And one more time. And if you need to open the hands nice and wide because it feels better for the shoulders, I would suggest you do it. Sweep them back. Now, all the way down to a full pull. Let your head go. Take both hands now and hold on to your left ankle. Here comes your single leg balance. So sweep the right leg back behind you, get it up till it's only parallel to the floor. Keep the hips square and just look down at your foot. Now, if you don't feel that right leg active, reach it long. Point the toes. Now go up an inch and down an inch. Adding movement to a balance pose makes it more challenging. So you decide what you're ready for. Now we're going to put that right leg back down, back to your full pull for a little reprieve before we start the other side. Both hands holding the right leg, right ankle, or whatever you can reach. Maybe it's your shin. Sweep that leg back. Get long and strong. Point those toes. Go up and down an inch. Now relax that foot. I want you to walk your hands out and meet me in your high plank. I'd like you to bring your toes and heels together in your high plank. Now hollow out the belly. Pull the heels backwards and let's shift our shoulders behind the wrists, ever so slightly. So I'm trying to find your lats. Now we're going to take the left hand, lift it up and move it to the left corner of your mat and the right one to the right corner. Keep your lats engaged. So broad through the shoulders. Now to amp this up, the only thing we're going to do is wiggle our toes a little further back. So you're putting more load into your lats. Keep your face up, neck is long. It's getting a little exercise too. And take those feet, move them back a tiny bit more if you can. So now you've got your shoulders way behind the wrists. Maybe feeling a little unstable. We're here a few more breaths. Okay, take your feet, walk them all the way into bear. Keep your arms exactly where they were, your hands, I'm sorry. Knees 1 inch above the floor. So you've got your hands nice and wide and you're just holding your bear. Now your feet are hip width apart, but I want you to bring your knees in and squeeze them. So you're activating your inner thighs. And then open them back out. And repeat that 5 more times. Hold it in for 3 counts. And then open. Keep the knees 1 inch above the floor. Squeeze. And open. And squeeze. You need to keep all these little muscles strong because they support everything when you walk and move. So squeeze with all your might, make each one fabulous. We're going to do one more. Squeeze and hold. Step back. Your legs are long. Walk your wrists in now so they're under the shoulders. You're in a normal high plank. Drop into your shoulders. Hold it 5 breaths. Walk your hands, baby steps, all the way back to your feet. Meet me in your forward fold. Now you're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. Reverse swan dive all the way back up to standing. Flip the palms and reach them to the ceiling. Hands to heart. We're going to step our left foot forward, not as far as you could get it. And I'm going to have you turn your right foot on a 45-degree angle. So take a peek at your ankles and see if you can get the heels in the same line. Now the check is going to face the left side of the room. Left hand to your waist, right hand is going to start to slide down your leg as you move your hips. I'll show you from the front view. As you move your hips to the side, start to slide your hand down your leg. I've got both legs straight. I'm not bringing my torso forward. That's what you see a lot of people do. Keep your shoulder in line with the leg. You might not get as far, but that's okay. If you can sweep this arm up, go for it. And maybe both arms make a nice straight line. Just hold, take your head, look up if you can. Now, if that strains your neck, don't do it. You can always look down at your hand or your foot. Give those muscles a rest. Then maybe turn just to face forward. Try to really move the hips so you get that nice inner thigh stretch right in that front leg. Now you're going to release this right hand up, come back up to standing with both arms nice and long. Now flip this right hand up, left hand drops to your back leg. Reach it all the way up, get it nice and long. Straight up. And release it. So from this position, you're going to take both hands, square those shoulders, slide them down the front leg, hands to the floor, step back plank. Here we're going to do a little half hover, or we're going to go right to up dog. Come onto the tops of your feet and fire up your glutes. Hold here, little six-pack stretch. If you want to elevate off the knees, fabulous, you don't have to, but I want the tummy pulling up and in. Okay, knees come down, tuck the toes under, lift your hips up, and we're going to very slowly drift them back so they're hovering over the heels. Nice. Little lat stretch here, maybe walk those hands a little further forward and then get that isometric pull going on, where you're actively pulling those hands towards the knees, but it's just isometric. Shoulders are broad. Nice. Okay, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, come into bear. Walk your hands back to your feet. Full pull. Inhale, unhinge, reach and lift. Sweep the arms all the way up. Hands to heart, step your left foot forward. Turn your right foot on an angle. Now look down, because sometimes we think our heels are in a spot and they're really not. Left hand on the leg, hips push backwards. Start your descent. You decide where you're taking this. And if you want to reach that right arm up, maybe take your gaze and look up. And it's perfectly normal if you're a little tighter on one side, because I know this is my tight side, which is why I'm saying that. So maybe if you're doing these stretches on your own, you might want to hang there a little longer. Continue to work a deeper range if you can. Such a great stretch for your inner thigh. Okay, let's bring the right hand down this time. Get your chest over that front leg. Now you're going to bend that front leg, hands to the front, step back, meet in your plank. Let's come down into a hover and go right to up dog. Nice. We're going to take the hips up, tuck the toes under, Pull them back. You're right back in that lat stretch. Walk the hands forward. Now open the palms so that maybe half the hand is off the sides of your mat. So you're kind of doing that Y again. And take some deep breaths as your armpits are getting closer to the floor. Maybe, maybe not, but try. Spine is long. You're not sitting on your heels. Okay, come on back up. We're doing 5 more of those nice, soothing cat-cows. So start with a big arch, look at your knees. Sink into the shoulders, look forward. And do it 4 more times. Okay, you're going to take those hands to the front of your mat. You're going to meet me in your high plank. And we're going to take our right foot, bring it up behind your left hand, right down to pigeon. If you would rather do a figure 4 stretch on your back, take that option. So nice, easy breathing, 6 big times. When you're ready, switch it over to the other side. Okay, come up onto the forearms, bend your hands. You're just going to bring your back leg forward. You're going to meet in staff pose. Take your feet to the edges of your mat. And then we're going to start by pulling the right foot in and walking our hands out. We start with our spine long. When we can't go anymore, forearms down, let your head go, spinal flexion. Just relax and breathe. You should get some pretty good range here because we're pretty well stretched out. Hollow out your belly and breathe 5 times. Try to unweight the upper body. Okay, walk the hands back. Same thing, other side. And again, you're the judge of how far you pull this foot in, right? There's no rules. This is just a make your body feel stretchy, bendy moment. All about your body. Big, deep breathing 5 times. Try to keep both your sit bones equally on your mat, so you haven't shifted through your hips. Okay, walk it back up. Extend both legs out. Bring your feet together. You're going to make sure that you've got all that muscle back there moved out of the way so you have a good connection to the floor. Take your towel, wrap it around the bottoms of your feet, hold onto it with both your hands. Spine stays long, pull the body down till the elbows hit the floor. When they do, relax your head, look at your knees. Nice little stretch for the back of the legs. You can pull that towel, use it to your advantage. 5 big breaths and then we say goodbye. Okay, walk it back up, get rid of the towel, pull the feet in, come up onto the toes. And let's get the blood flow going in the right direction so we feel stable. You're gonna lift your hips up, drop the heels, and do a nice slow swan dive all the way back. Big deep breath. And exhale, namaste. Thank you so much for being with me. Hope you feel wonderful. Nice to have Sue back with us.
Have a nice day.
Bye, Val. Glad you're feeling better.
So.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello, how are
That
you?
was good. That class was so good.
Oh,
It
good.
had no mean things in it, except a little bit of bear.
I
Little
was just gonna say a little bit of bear.
Yeah, just to like keep it real. But oh
Keep
my
it
God, it was so
real,
good.
right?
Send that one to me, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Do that one again.
good.
Exactly.
Did you like it, Mark? I can't hear. him.
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad that everything.
Can you send it to me while I'm away?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
You're leaving tomorrow?
I'm leaving today in about 3 hours.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you got a good stretch before you have to
Yeah.
sit on an airplane for 6 hours.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a tough flight. I know, I hate that flight.
Where are you going, Mark?
California.
Okay.
He's going right near where my sister lives to San Jose to visit his daughter. And I think
Oh, fun.
the funniest thing of all is that he's rented an Airbnb literally down a few houses down from where his daughter lives.
Oh, nice.
How convenient is that?
Yeah,
Very
that's great.
convenient.
Very, very. All right.
And you'll
That
have
was
nice
great.
weather there. It's nice and chilly, right?
It's supposed to be warmer than it is in Maryland.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, it's okay.